you should definitely, to clarify many of those things, you should definitely reread the homework assignment, because this is like the homework assignment. I mean, you can see that this model view controller application can be written in many different ways, but I'm trying to achieve this goal with the most straightforward setup, with the most straightforward relationships between the controller, the windows, and of course the business object. So my choice is to execute the controller constructor on the event dispatch thread, right? So the only danger of this is if this constructor has to run a substantial database query, which may be taking long time, in that case, I should probably do this on some other background thread, on the worker thread, and not keep the event dispatch thread busy at this stage. But for the simplicity's sake, we'll just keep it organized just like that. All right, so, but what about the data? Well, I think that we have a collection of New Year resolutions. Those are simply strings, right? We need to be able to visualize those strings. So let's see. If we move here, new NYR data class, so it would be natural for us to say, all right, maybe it should have a public constructor, right? Public constructor right there, right? And that public constructor should do what, right? So this is our data object, right? So we can just say that I can add a Java doc comment right there and say that just add a comment here which would say that CNYR data is a business object, which keeps track of confirmed or affirmed, confirmed, and unconfirmed or nullified, unconfirmed resolutions. Okay, and of course we need to insert the new line somewhere there, and this is our, documentation for this class. So confirmed versus unconfirmed. Confirmed versus unconfirmed. So my first question is, what is New Year's resolution? Should this, a single resolution, should be a separate class, or is just a data attribute of some kind? In my view, right now, if I just use string as a text representing that resolution, it should be enough. I'm not going to create a separate class for a resolution, right? No, don't create separate class for a resolution. However, there is this confirmed and unconfirmed business. Okay, so to make things clear, maybe you may agree or disagree with me, but potentially in terms of the attributes, maybe I need a collection of confirmed resolutions on one side, and similarly I may need a collection of unconfirmed resolutions, right? So let's do this. It's just my concern that maybe I can keep confirmed and unconfirmed in two different buckets, so that I don't have to be concerned about some flag variables or additional structures which would give these resolutions a particular status. So for simplicity's sake, maybe, just maybe, array list, right? Array list of strings, right? Of strings. Array list of strings, and this will be confirmed resolutions, right? Right there, confirmed resolutions. Okay, and I can create this collection right away. Just say new, new array list of strings, new array list of strings. Or I can use this diamond notation, which simplifies its creation, something like that, right? Then, of course, array list has to be imported, so let's fix the imports, and array list is part of Java util. So confirm resolutions is an array list of strings, and similarly, the unconfirmed resolutions is another array list of strings, okay? So there are two of these, right? I am thinking ahead of time that if this is my choice to keep the two lists to manage resolutions, right? Because what I could have done, I could have designed a resolution class which would have like a status field and the text for the resolution, and create a collection of these special type of objects which represent the resolution with their own particular state. But my choice is right now is that instead of creating yet another class, I'll just keep two different collections of strings. And if I need to confirm a resolution, I'm going to grab it from one list and insert it to another. If I decide to change my mind and make a resolution and unconfirm again, I can move it to another collection, right? In addition, I'm just thinking right now is that I also have to deal with the history window. There's a little bit of a problem here because keeping the two buckets with these strings, like these are confirmed and these are still unconfirmed, and perhaps I can just get started with all of them unconfirmed, right? All of them are unconfirmed to begin with, right? But eventually the user clicks affirm, so they get moved around. But this has little support at this point for the history window. So there may be two choices. The history window contains a text area. So if you reread the description, it's like a multi-line text gadget, right? Like a text area with multiple, like a small little text editor in it, right? So I could be appending data to that text area. That would be one choice, and just keep appending. Perhaps I can try that. Or I could have tried another array list of strings, which would say history of resolutions, and keep a separate list there. But at this point, my choice is to just maybe keep the text box, not text box, but the text area control, to which I should be able to append, and just keep the history. So anytime user changes the status of these resolutions, the history gets updated, and they just get this growing and growing list. In the worst case scenario, I can give them like a clear button, which will just remove everything from history, and they can start over again. All right, so this is yet another thing that I think we need. So now the constructor, of course, has to populate the list of unconfirmed resolutions with something, right? We could just hard code this, right? So add, right? Add. Very simple. Just since by the time this constructor executes, we have already created new array list of strings for the unconfirmed resolutions. So now we can just add and add and add. So what would you like me to add to this list? Did you think about anything? What do you think I should add?
More coding.
Oh, okay. All right. Do more coding. Okay, what else? Exclamation point. What else? Unconfirmed resolution, add. What else? Anyone? Any ideas? What should be the resolution? Right? Just let's come up with something. What would you like to do in the new year? Pretend that this is like December 25th and you'd like to make a list of resolutions for the next year. I don't know, buy a new car, I don't know. I really don't know what it is. Everyone has like, buy a new game, how about that? Right, this is not a resolution, exactly. It has to be something purposeful, exactly. What's that?
Create a new game.
Create a new video game. Okay. Yes, that's a good resolution.
Build a Super Windows 95 game machine.
Okay, let's add that. Exercise more. Sure, do that. Then, what's that, Ben?
Make a Super DOS machine.
I don't know what that is, but I'll add it.
MS-DOS was
Make a super MS-DOS machine. MS-DOS. Oh, you're saying it's a game? A super MS-DOS?
It's a MS-DOS is a software.
Yes, but what you try to? Oh, you want to try to make it a super version of it? Okay.
Like a DOS gaming machine. There's a lot
Gaming machine. I see.
There's
Okay.
a lot of money to be made from those.
Machine. Okay. Good. We need, I think it tells us that we need to have 5 or 6. You can think about it, but I'll add 4. Right, I can add 4. So some of these resolutions are just hard-coded right now, and like you can sense that right now our primary focus is on the plumbing, the interaction between the windows, and this data class, right? So right now we getting started with the data class that contains a list of unconfirmed resolutions, like 4 items on that list, right? And empty confirmed resolutions. Okay, so so far it looks good. And as you can see, it's the controller that creates the new data object and stores its reference inside the class, right? So the controller now has all reference that we may need for our architecture, which is, this is our controller, so it keeps track of the data, and it keeps track of the both of the windows, and both windows have also access to the controller, in case if the window wants to do work with the controller. So what do you think we could do next? I mean, it seems like we just finished organizing in terms of how and where we create our classes, so instances of our classes, right? So we made some decisions, we made some changes, did it one way, then I undid it and then went back. So anyway, this is what we ended up with right now, right? And it even makes the main window visible. Well, this is not a rhetorical question, because we need to really decide in which direction we're moving next, right? We could move forward in multiple, in multiple directions. One direction would be populate our windows with actual gadgets and make them look like user interface. That's definitely a job to do. But I would like to start with I would like to finish the implementation of the controller, because once the constructor is complete, the next step is, remember we said that when the user takes an action, like clicking a button, right? The user clicks the button, what it should result in is making a call to the controller and say, okay, the user wants to do this, okay? And the controller basically can ask window for the data and update whatever it needs to update in that the new year resolution data object and so forth. So let's just at least highlight what controller level methods we need to support our application. So clearly, something like, let's see, for now, and just say this would be a public void confirm, right? Confirm, and we confirm a resolution. For now, to keep things simple, I will basically choose the first resolution on the list, okay, and move it to the list of the control resolutions. So if I say confirm, I'm not taking any parameters here. All I'm doing is this. If I need to say confirm, what I can do is that I need to forward this request to the data class, right? I need to maybe, I mean, it may look like this. New Year resolution data confirm. Confirm. Okay, right? And that confirm should return back a string of the confirmed resolution, right? So equals confirm, the data object confirm. So what it gives me is that I can ask the data to say whatever you think is the next one that should be confirmed, let's confirm it, okay? But you give me the string so that I can essentially tell the window that that specific resolution is now confirmed, okay? So perhaps this is a reasonable thing to return from there. And you can write it many different ways. I'm just thinking what it might look like. The next thing that I need in the to have here is unconfirm or nullify, right? Nullify a resolution. Perhaps there should be a nullify method. So we make nullify method in our the data object, and so this is basically a nullified resolution, right? So we make the data object responsible for managing the data, right? So at this point, the user wants to take an action and basically do the work just like that. Okay. And I'm actually changing my mind once again. That I think it's returning a string of confirm or unconfirmed is a little bit too tedious. Let's just save the segment and make one more change.